So hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode on the channel, and today in this video we are going to learn MongoDB. So MongoDB is a database similar to NoSQL, SQL, Cassandra, PostgreSQL and so many other DBs out there in this world. But why MongoDB? So there are some benefits of MongoDB which we will discuss a little later in this video as we keep on going ahead. So for now, I'm hoping that you have watched all the previous episodes of this full stack course, and you have, if you are attending all the lectures till here, I know that you are getting better with it. And yeah, today we are going to cover our database, MongoDB. And so without any further ado, let's get started. So what is MongoDB? So MongoDB is a NoSQL database that stores data in JSON-like documents. Now compared to SQL databases, it is different. How is it different? Now, it is document oriented, meaning it doesn't rely on traditional tables and rows like structures, like in relational databases such as SQL. MongoDB consists of something like a flexible schema. Let me show you with an example. So consider this, these are SQL tables where we have table columns, table rows, and we can combine multiple tables, etc. Whereas in NoSQL databases, we have key value pairs. Like in MongoDB, we have key value pairs. That's how these work. Or you can say document object model. So in MongoDB, each data is stored as a document. Now, there are multiple advantages and disadvantages of MongoDB, which we should know. So first of all, let us discuss like why should we use MongoDB in the first place? The first reason is that it uses binary JSON, or you can say BSON format. It stores data in BSON format. And MongoDB is generally scalable. Like it's easy to handle large volumes of data efficiently in MongoDB. And other than that, it provides us faster retrieval speed compared to other databases, and also it provides us with high performance and flexibility. Now, coming to disadvantages, there are a few limitations of MongoDB, such as it uses high memory compared to other databases because it uses BSON format to store the data. And it is you can say it is like less suitable for complex transactions because it lacks advanced features, like you can say, like comparing the joins method. Like in relational databases, there are some functions where we connect two tables which are called like joins. In MongoDB, those functions are actually not present, so that's why. But trust me, MongoDB is very efficient and we can develop almost all kinds of applications using MongoDB, so have no doubt and trust MongoDB. It is like super cool. So yeah, let's get started with the setup and all other stuff. So in this video, we are not going to code anything. I'm just going to show you some basic MongoDB commands and some basic data about MongoDB. So let's get started. So first of all, you have to download a certain thing called MongoDB Compass. So I will give this link in the description, or you can also search MongoDB Compass download on your Google, and you can go to the first site and you will visit the same thing. So you can just select your system configurations and you can just download it and install it on your computer. If you don't want to use the offline shell, I mean the application, you can also search for, let's say, MongoDB Compass, MongoDB Atlas, and you can just use MongoDB services online itself. All right. They also have free tiers for up to 512 MB and some free clusters to create on the cloud. So yeah, you can also do that. But for this video, we are going to go for the offline one. So I've already installed MongoDB Compass, and now let's just go deep into them. Now within MongoDB, there are some key features which we should know. So the first thing is database. We have a database which you can call, it is a container of collection. So database is what? Database is a container of collections. But what are collections? In MongoDB, collections are something like, okay, let me just write it first. So in MongoDB, collections are something like a group of similar type of documents which we want to store. Let us say we want to store user data. So each user data will be a document, and all the data about each of the users will be in a single collection named as users, let's say. All right. And then what is a document within a collection? So as I said, the information, the single record of data which we want to store in the MongoDB, which is stored in BSON format, is a document. All right. So that is document. Now let's talk about some essential commands within MongoDB. All right. This is the basic like keywords which you need to know. Now let's go into MongoDB Compass, and first of all, let's create a new connection. So now let's click on add new connection, and this will be a connection URI we will have. And then let's give it a name test for now and click on save and connect. This will create as a test cluster within which we have multiple databases. Now these are some databases which we can use. So this is the database which I previously created. So let me just delete it. So to deleting it, you can press on the delete icon and type your DB name, and then you can click on drop database. You can delete all these databases similarly if you don't want them. So yeah, this is the test cluster for now. Now what we need to do is we want to open our MongoDB shell and perform some basic operations, right? So if we take our cursor over to this thing and then click on this icon, which opens the MongoDB shell for us. Now there is a first command which is called as use and then your database name. With this command, you can either switch your database or create a new database. So I want to create a new database with the same name, MyDB. So now we are switched to MyDB. Now currently you can see there is no database called MyDB here. Why? Because there is no data in it. Once we start showing data, once we start adding data into it, then we can see all that data here. Now, let me show you by typing this show dbs. This command will show you the list of all the databases which our cluster has. So currently, these are the databases which are there. MyDB is currently not showing because it is empty. So now let me tell you about another method which is called db dot create collection. Now, why is this thing used? This thing is used to create a collection within the databases. Collection within the database. So let's create a collection called accounts, which will store accounts of all the users. So if I hit enter, this has given me like okay, this is created. Now still we have just created a collection. There is no data. That's why we can't see MyDB here. But now let me show you how to insert data into a collection right now. So let's say we select the DB and we select the current DB, and then we say we type the collections name, which is accounts. Then we say insert one. This will insert one data into this. So right here in this object, let's add the data. Let's give it a name. Let's give it my name. Let's say Ashish. And then let's give it an age. Let's say 19. That is all. Now, if I hit enter, you will see acknowledge true and inserted ID. We got an object ID. Now, if I show you, if I press on show DBS and hit enter, you will see my DB is here. We have assigned some size to it. Like if we come here and refresh it, refresh databases, I should see my DB here. So now you can see my DB is here. So if I go to accounts, you will see the data here. Now this is like how the object looks, the BSON format. Now listen to me that whenever you create a document in MongoDB, it creates a unique object ID for each of the document. So you can select any document with this ID. You can search for any document using this ID itself. So this is a unique thing uh, which MongoDB generates for you. You don't need to work on it. MongoDB by default generates it for you for every document. That is one thing cool about MongoDB. Now this is how you insert one data. Now how do we insert multiple data at once? So for that you do something similar, db dot accounts, select the collection name, and then you say insert many. Now inside this function you create an array of data. Now in this array first we add data 1. Okay, let's create an object in which we say name, let's say Naruto, and then I'm going to give him an age. Now remember, in this JSON format is somewhat similar to JSON format which we previously used. So yeah, you just have to add a comma separating the key value pairs, and that is how you add the majority of the data. Let's give him an age of 21, and the second data will be, let's give him a name, let's say Sasuke, and then let's give him an age of 22, and then close this array. And then if I hit enter, you will see acknowledged. We get the inserted IDs, ID1, ID2. Now if I go into accounts and refresh this once, You can see this refresh icon. If I click on this, you will see the Naruto data and the Sasuke data as well. These object IDs and this object IDs are same. All right. So this is how you insert data. Now let's talk about how do we retrieve data. So currently we have this DB, right? So if I type the command, let's say DB dot users or accounts, because this is the collection name, and dot find. Now this method will return us all the objects which are present in the accounts collection. Now if I hit enter, you will see all the three which we just inserted. And then if you want to find something by, let's say, name, I want to find Ashish, let's say. So what we do is we say db dot accounts dot, then we can say find, and then we can give here a criteria. Now remember, this find method will find all the documents within the collections which match your criteria. So the criteria will be like, I want to search by name. I want to search by name. The name is like, let's say, Ashish. So if I hit enter, you will see I got my thing. If I say instead of Ashish, if I make it, let's say, Naru and hit enter, you will see I got nothing because there is no name such as Naru here. It's Naruto. So we need to enter the complete name. So if I hit enter, you see we got it. Right? This is how it works. Now you can add something like filters as well to this. Like if I just enter Naru, then also it will give me Naruto. Or if we have Naruto Uzumaki as someone else, then it will give me both the accounts. Something like it works. Now let's talk about updating data. Now before going to updating data, we have other functions. Let's say db dot accounts dot, you can do find one, you will have find one and delete it, and you will have find one and replace it, you will have find one and update it. So these are multiple functions with find. Similarly, we have two functions for insert, which are insert one and insert many, which I already taught you. Now let's talk about the update functions. So similar to this, we have update one, update many, update search index. So now let's try update one. What update one is like, let me show you an example. Now the first thing gives us the query, like I want to update, first search a document with this Ashish. All right, if we see here, the name is Ashish, so yeah, small letter. So we search some document with the name Ashish, and then I want to set it with the following data. Now I will use some parameter called as dollar and then set. What I want to set, I want to set some data to it. Let's say, let's change this age. So I'll say age is equals to, let's make my age, let's say 41. All right, I'm not that old though. Yeah. So yeah, now it says acknowledge true, match it count one, like this matches one count, and we modified it as well. Now if I show something like, if we try to see this data, let's say, let's use the find method again. If I hit enter, you will see my age is changed to 41. Similar to set, there are multiple parameters in MongoDB, which we will know. Like I will give you a list in the description. You can just go through it and see all the major parameters which you need to know. I'll just add the link in the description so you can check it out. All right, and similar to update one, you can also do for update many. You can find multiple using queries and then set the data to each one of them. That is how update many works. Now let's talk about, let's say, deleting data, how to delete some data. So to delete the data, we can do something like db dot accounts dot, and then similar to this, we have delete one, delete many. So let's go for delete one. And here you can just add something like name, and then let's delete Sasuke. And if I hit enter, you will see acknowledge true, deleted count one. If we go into accounts, refresh it, you won't find Sasuke anymore. Or even if you try the find command here, you won't see Sasuke anymore. We got Ashish and Naruto though. Alright, so this is how delete function work. Now, if you want to drop a collection, Or you want to delete a collection, what you can do is you'll say db dot the collection name accounts dot, and then you type the drop function, and then you drop it. Now if you see, the collection won't be there anymore. If I come here and refresh databases, the collection is gone, so is the database. The database has no data anymore and all this data is gone. So yeah, if I try this, you will see we got nothing. So that is how it works. Now if I want to delete this database, which is my DB, I can just simply do db dot drop database. You have other functions as well. You can drop a user which has access to your database, drop all users, drop all roles. Roles means you can create multiple roles like editor, viewer, and other access types, and that is how it works. For now, if I do drop database and hit enter, the database is dropped. Now the database is not exist anymore. You can do show dbs and then hit enter. There is no db, right? That is how it works. There are many other functions in MongoDB. These are the most important one which you should definitely know. There are more as well. I will link all the major functions in the description. You can check it out there. So what in the next section, next session or next lecture you can say. So in the next lecture, we will learn Node.js, Express.js and how to use MongoDB functions, these functions in our code using Express.js or you can say Node.js. So in the next lecture is going to be very important, and the final theory lecture is going to be the next one. After that, we will build a full stack project right from scratch, which will give you a complete overview of how to use React, how to combine it with the backend, and how to do major API integrations, how to play with accounts and everything. So I hope you are watching this playlist till the end and actually being a full stack developer. So yeah, that is it for this episode. Thank you for watching. I'll meet you again very soon. Until then, bye bye guys.